Good evening, everybody. We're live in the pits of Motorcast. Your host, Dave, and I got a line with me tonight, Shane Westmoreland, Nostalgia Pro Stock driver. Hey, Shane, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Just getting geared up for Christmas.
You all done Christmas shopping?
Yeah, got everything finally taken care of. So getting everything wrapped now, that's a chore.
Do you do your shopping online or you go to stores?
Actually, I did a lot of it in stores this year. A little more personal touch, I think.
Yeah. So, Shane, let me ask you first question. When did you first start drag racing?
I actually started racing myself probably 12 years ago. I've been involved with it for all my life. My dad's raced since I can remember, and I've even got pictures of me like when I was 3 or 4 years old, sitting in his lap, just riding around the pit.
So your dad's also a drag racer, right?
He is.
And he's the one that got you started in drag racing then?
He really is. He really is. I followed in his footsteps, and I'm actually getting to drive his old car now.
So now, also, your daughter's going to start driving too, or she's already driving?
She has driven some junior dragster stuff, and this year, if everything goes right, I've got her a car, and so hopefully we'll get her at least into some foot brake stuff this year.
That's cool.
I think the ultimate goal for her will be to put her in the car I'm currently driving, and then I'll take over the car we're building for Dad now.
So when did you first start driving the job car?
We put that wrap on it over this past winter, and before that it was blue, and I started driving it 4 years ago.
Then when you first started driving cars for drag racing, what was your first car that you drag raced in?
It was a '68 Camaro. It was a tube car. Started out with a 427 in it, iron heads or steel heads, and then we put some aluminum heads on it. Picked it up about a second, 1/8 mile, and then we built the engine I currently have in it. In the job car now, a 565, and started running. Actually, won my first race with that as soon as we put that in.
Now, after the first Camaro that you started drag racing, what other cars have you drag raced in after that?
You know, that's really been what I've driven. I've had the Camaro, and then we put everything over, the whole powertrain over into my dad's old car, and that's pretty much everything I've driven.
So what kind of car does your dad have?
Well, that's the Beretta I drive now.
Okay. So you're going to be driving both cars?
Well, we actually traded my Camaro for a 2004 Mustang, and we are in the process of putting a 14 body on it, 14 body Mustang.
Now your car is the Pro Stock is a tribute car.
It is. Well, it is the original car. It is the very first Beretta ever made.
Yeah. So you were a big fan of Nostalgia Pro Stocks back in the day?
I did enjoy them. I enjoyed them. And whenever I talked to Jeff Rudisill a whole lot about it, and whenever it came in our area, I had the perfect car for it, so we just adapted and went with it.
And of course, we just lost the great Bob Glidden recently.
Yeah, that was a sad day.
Yeah, he was a legend.
That's for sure.
So now you run with Jeff Rudisell's group?
Yes.
Yeah, the Southeast Nostalgia Pro Stock. So, yeah. Jeff and Tyrone.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Then you just won, didn't you? The last time you went out, you won?
I did. It was actually that race was a Index 470 race, just heads up 470, and how many passes? I can't remember. I think we had to run 5 rounds to win that race.
So how did you first meet Jeff Rudisell?
Actually, he's raced with my dad for years, and I've known him that way. And then whenever I started driving the Beretta, we ran some 490 heads-up stuff together, and just talking back and forth with him that way. And he's really close with my daughter, and so it was a natural fit for all of us.
Now, do you have any drivers that are inspirational to you besides your dad?
Well, I'd have to say my dad is where I derived all my inspiration.
Okay. So what was it like to get behind the wheel for the first time at drag racing?
Very first time, it's a eye-opening experience. You don't know how fast you're actually going, and in retrospect, the very first pass wasn't that fast, especially compared to now. I ran about 100 mile an hour in the 8th mile, and I thought I was setting the world on fire. And now I look back, and I'm 150 plus.
So with the job car, what's the fastest run time you've had with that thing?
I've dipped down in the 60s. I ran about 466 at about 151. And we run 8th mile around here.
So this season in 2017, how many events did you make it to?
I think we went to 19 in all. Pretty busy year.
So how did the car run for you all year?
Oh, it was very first race we went to, we won. And let's see, we went to the Don Carlton Memorial and runnered up there. Those were both at Wilkesboro. Those are just some highlights. And then toward the end of the year here, went back to Wilkesboro and I runnered up again. And then we finished up the year with a win at Galot. All in all, I'd say it was a pretty successful year.
Now, do you think you ever come up to like the Midwest area, like with the Midwest Nostalgia Group?
We've actually talked about it and have considered it. And if we can all work it out with schedules and everything, I could see that happening.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I like to do a little bit of traveling.
So now, what made you pick the job car, the wrap?
Well, the reason we went with it is because that is what that car originally was.
Right.
And barring any unforeseen circumstances over the next year here, what I'd like to do moving into the 2019 season would be to change it up and sort of follow what Joe did with the car, and then probably go to the Easy Wider.
Yeah, Joe Lapone Jr.
Yep.
Now, what kind of engine do you have in that car?
It's a 565 cubic inch. Charlie Buck builds it for us. I can't speak good enough about it. It's just dependable and reliable and builds the power we need.
Now, the car is automatic or clutch?
It's an automatic.
Now, for you yourself personally, do you think that the Nostalgia Pro Stock should have a clutch in them?
it's I'm sort of mixed. I like to see the levers in them. I do. I can't lie about that. But for me, I'm going to get out and race the car as much as I can. And I know there's some argument there, and I understand the argument. But I'm a racer at heart, and I want to go down the track as many times in a year as I can. And unfortunately, I can't afford to have two cars that I can drive. So I'm gonna race it as much as I can, and just for the feasibility of it, I'm gonna have to stay with automatic for now.
Now, do you think it's important for the Nostalgia Pro Stock to do long smoky burnouts and dry hops?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's what it is. It's showmanship, and I mean, I don't know if any of our listeners have seen any of the videos of myself or the Southeast guys. I know at Roxborough this year, it was like our very first outing, and I did an 8-mile burnout. I actually was running against Tyrone, and he got out there. He did like a 300-foot one. He thought he was something, and so I just rolled on by him, and I got out there about the 8th mile. And they said the crowd went wild.
Yeah, they love that. Now, how many crew members do you have when you take the car out for a race?
It's generally 2 or 3. My dad, my daughter, and then I have another guy that goes with us. Son.
How about your girlfriend?
She goes when she can. Between work and she has a couple kids, it's sort of hard for her to be able to go every time. But I'm sure she'd love to.
Now, your girlfriend likes drag racing?
She does. She does. And this is her first experience with it, so I'm having to teach her as we go.
Now, when you got the car back at home, you do most of the mechanical work on it?
We all do, for the most part.
Does the car have any sponsors currently?
No, it's all out of pocket.
Now, on a drag race weekend, when you get ready for a weekend, what goes into preparation for you?
For me, I like to put a wrench on just about every bolt on the car. So many times you hear of like a nut backing off and a bolt coming out, and something just going awry, and so it's all about preventative maintenance. Every time we get back from the race, I like to pull the valve covers off, go through the valve train, run a magnet down through it, even see if I can find little metal shavings or anything, just to make sure everything's good. Typically, we'll put 20 or 25 passes on it before we change the oil. So that's pretty much it. I like to get up in the air and just get up underneath the car and just check everything you can.
Now, Shane, what are some of your favorite tracks to race on?
I have to say I'm really partial to Galat, which is a newer facility for us. It was Galat Motorsports took over the track, I guess 2 years ago, and it took about that long to get everything built back up. But I mean, it's top notch. I like there, and I like Bristol Dragway. That's really nice. Sort of hard to make the power up at Bristol just because of the altitude.
Now, do you prefer 1/8 mile or 1/4 mile?
1/8 mile. 1/8 mile is what we concentrate on.
Where's you from?
So, where do you purchase your fire suit from?
My fire suit, I've got it from Beyond-O. It's a Sparco. It's a Dash 15 suit. So.
Did you ask them if that's Spencer?
Yeah.
What's your favorite cars?
My favorite car?
Oh, yeah, favorite car. Cars. Plural. Like, not singular, plural.
What do you mean? The kind of cars he likes to drive in? Like,
No,
like not racing?
Like race cars. What's your favorite race cars?
Race cars? I like the, one thing that turns me off from some of the current stuff is everybody has the same car. Right? It's sort of like having a rail where they're all painted a little different, but it's all the same stuff. So for me, I like something that you don't see every day, like the newer Mustangs. One or two of them is all you've ever seen. So hopefully with the rule changes in Pro Stock, we'll see maybe a 15 or 16 Mustang come out. I like those old Lamborghinis and that we saw in Pro Mod way back.
Okay, let me ask you. Would you drive a hot dog shaped Pro Mod?
Hot dog shape?
Pro Mod. Hot dog bun. Let's just say it's just shaped like a hot dog and a bun.
I would not.
Chevy Bolero.
How about Chevy Boleros?
Beretta?
Boleros.
I'm sorry, I can't understand.
Bel Air.
Bel Air. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I do like those.
Okay.
So have you ever had any accidents in your career, Shane?
I'm very fortunate and have not. I like to believe a lot of that comes from the preventive maintenance, getting up underneath the car and checking everything every race.
Do you work on your own car?
I do.
Are you married?
No, I have a girlfriend.
So your girlfriend likes it when you get down and dirty?
She says she does. So.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. Good fun question.
Oh yeah, I got a fun question.
All right.
If you were given $150 million to build a racetrack, what features would it have and how long would the racetrack be?
Wow. I would start with paved pits for everyone. And then when you pull into your pits, you just plug in. You don't have to. That way, you don't have 50 different generators running all day long, and just wearing you out. It'd be quarter mile. Get away from the old metal guardrails and have concrete guardrails. It'd be a heated and cooled track surface, all concrete, of course. That's the main things that stick out to me.
Would you build an indoors racetrack too?
That would be interesting. I've always thought that if you could have a covered racetrack, that you could race year round and sort of control the climate.
But you'd have to have a strong ass ventilation system in it.
Oh, absolutely. I would think you'd almost have to have the sides open. I don't think you could enclose it all the way.
Okay. What's your favorite food?
What was that?
Favorite food?
Favorite food? I don't know. It's tough. Any more? Wow. I'm a big fan of chicken Phillies.
Chicken Philly sandwiches?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you have any hobbies outside of drag racing?
It's really just race, work, kids.
No fishing?
Race, work, and kids. That's about me.
Now, do you have any TV shows that you've been watch?
I watch the Street Outlaws. I watch The Curse of Oak Island. More, I don't know, reality type stuff for me, I guess.
Have you gotten any awards or trophies yet?
I've got a few trophies. I getting the big checks. That's always fun to have to figure out where to hang them.
Can you tell us what kind of trophies you got?
Oh wow. Trying to think. I don't have them at my house. Actually, I've got them at my shop, and we keep them all there. It's just various small, nothing major. My dad got a couple Wallies. That was pretty neat. We got those laying around.
That's cool. So, what's your favorite beverage, Shane?
My favorite beverage anymore is Firefly vodka. It's like a sweet tea vodka.
Now, if you were able to do time traveling and go back in time, would you do anything differently?
Would I do anything? I would never smoke.
Oh, so you smoke?
I did.
Oh.
I did. I've stopped since, but I never would have picked it up in the first place.
How many years did you smoke for?
About 22.
Mm. Now, do you have a favorite vacation spot at all? More partial to the mountains than the beach. Nothing really stands out for me. With 19 weekends of racing, it's sort of hard to fit a vacation in sometimes. That pretty much is our vacation.
Okay, Shane. Okay.
Yes.
Tell us about your racing schedule, how it works, and where do you guys usually go race at, and how many races you do a year, and tell us the whole story of this year, what you guys did.
Okay. So we got in around 19 races this year. I sort of set it out at the beginning of the year, and my plan was to run with the Nostalgia Pro Stock guys, run some 490 stuff, and run some selected 470 events. And so I sort of just have to weigh out each organization's schedule and see what best fits us. We like to stay within a couple hours of home, because up until this year we never really had an RV to take with us. That changed at the end of the year for us. So we always like to stay a little bit closer, and that way we can come back home. But we started at Wilkesboro at the beginning of the year, went to Roxborough. I want to say we had a couple at Farmington, Piedmont. We're real fortunate in this area. We've got 5 or 6 tracks that are within an hour and a half to 2 hours for us. So we really don't have to venture out too terrible far to find a race on a given weekend. And so that's really how our schedule came to be. The only one I really set in stone was just all the Nostalgia Pro Stock ones, and just sort of worked around that and fit in the rest of them.
Now, out of all those events for this year, did you have a favorite one that you ran?
I have to go back to the lot. At the end of the year when we won that one, that still was probably the most fun. Like I say, we got an RV. That was the first race we went to with an RV, and that was an experience for us. Um, and so we've always had to, come back home or get a hotel, but we were able to stay right there at the track, and that made it nice. We didn't have to rush to get everything loaded up to get gone, and that definitely was fun.
Now, for the Nostalgia Pro Stock, you got a pretty big fan base right now?
I think we do. I don't. It's sort of hard to say. We're so spread out. Like the very last race of the year when we went to Rockingham with the Nostalgia guys, ADRL they give you free tickets. All you have to do is pay for parking. So that brings in a fair crowd. And that day it was actually a very nice day, and we did have a pretty good crowd. So it was neat to do that in front of that crowd. I had Larry Morgan there on hand, and myself and Mike Snow got to do a staging duel, and that was pretty neat.
So when you're in the pits, you get a lot of fans coming up to you?
We do. We get a lot of people just asking about the cars, wanting to see how they were built, trying to compare them, I guess, to other cars they've seen.
You fit any kids in the seat?
I didn't this year. I got to sign a few T-shirts up.
That's cool. What's your favorite music?
Favorite music? I like the Avett Brothers. I like Garth Brooks and some of his new stuff. I listen to a little bit of everything. A little bit of a eclectic compilation of music on my iPad.
What about AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, and Rolling Stones? Ozzy
I do
Osbourne,
have
Black
that.
Sabbath.
I do have all that. I've got,
Slayer.
let's see, what else have I got?
What about Iron Maiden?
I don't have any Iron Maiden.
Why not?
I don't know.
You gotta get into Eddie, dude. Eddie's the man.
All right. We can do that.
Eddie's the man. It's good for Nostalgia Pro Stock Racing. It gives you adrenaline rush.
That's one thing I've always wanted to try to do, and just never really had anybody up in the tower to be able to do it with us. Like whenever you get ready to do the burnout, I thought it would always be cool to have Back in Black or something like that playing.
Or Iron Maiden, Run to the Hills.
Right.
That's a good song. Cause it's white man came across the sea. He brought us pain and misery. You know that song?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a good song. It's like a adrenaline rush song. It's like a power song.
Yeah, anything to get the crowd on their feet. I mean, that's what it's all about.
It's all about metal motors, baby.
Yep.
Now, how do you get your advertisers?
I haven't been fortunate enough to have any. I know my dad; he's had a couple in the past, and it's really people that you know. One of them was a local brewery, and we ran his product for a couple years on the car. And then we had a Mr. Heater sponsor for a couple years. That was pretty neat. A lot of sponsors. Part of the deal for us was get more product than anything. So, especially with the brewery.
What about advertising local construction?
I mean, I would. I'm not opposed to it.
Well, try talking to your local construction guys, the plumbers, electricians, stuff like that, lawnmowers and shit like that.
Okay.
I'm sure they'll be very happy to respond to you guys.
I can do that. Yeah. I need to reach out.
I know a lot about sales and retail and shit like that.
Yeah.
Dave?
So if you were in drag racing, what do you think you'd be doing with your life right now?
Oh, wow. I'm not sure I can imagine life without it. I'm sure it'd probably be a lot of traveling, going to places I've never seen.
Like, what's the number one place you want to go see?
I'd love to see Hawaii or like the Incan ruins. I'd love to see that.
Where is
I
that?
want to see the Incan ruins. I'd love to see pyramids.
Oh, yeah, in Egypt? Yeah, those are nice.
Yep.
I see them.
Yeah.
I seen them. It's nothing really. When I went to see them, it's nothing really like fancy, you know. It's not like what you see on TV.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure it's all a lot of smoke and mirrors there.
It's kind of dull. Have you ever been to Mount Rushmore?
I haven't. I would like to touch all 50 states before I leave this place.
Rode Interstate 55?
No, but I did get to, I have been to Route 66
Route 66, that's what I was saying.
Arizona.
Have you ever Route 66 all the way through?
No. Went to Las Vegas and rode to, I got on 66, trying to remember, right at Arizona and Nevada and all that right there. And got to go through a little town right there, and that was neat. I would like to travel it though.
That's cool. Well, 3 years ago, me and Dave wrote the whole Route 66.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that would be fun.
We just put $700 in our pocket. That was for the gas, and of course we had extra money. And
right.
It cost about $420 in gas just to ride the whole thing. For a road trip. But with the gas prices these days, yeah, it's kind of it's a little lower than it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So 3 years ago it was $420. So right now it would probably be like $390 to ride the whole thing.
Yeah, that wouldn't do that.
Oh yeah. What's the furthest you've traveled by car, plane, or train?
That's probably it for me when I went out there for went to Las Vegas.
Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Have you ever
Vegas
and Wisconsin? Indiana?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever been to the Midwest?
No, I haven't.
You're missing out on the Midwest.
Gotta do.
You gotta do Great Lakes Dragway.
Yeah, we did. Now a few years ago, we did go up to Norwalk and race Top Sportsman up there. We got to go up to Sandusky and all that.
Yeah, maybe if you come up to the Midwest with the Midwest group, you could get it to Cordova.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Maybe run at the World Series of drag racing over there.
Oh yeah, that would definitely be fun.
So now, Shane, what's been the fondest memory of your drag racing career?
So a couple years ago, we went to Bristol, and it was on my daughter's birthday, and we actually rented an RV, went up on like Friday. I got up there and got set up. We made, trying to remember, it was 6 or 7 passes starter that night, and the next day we started qualifying, and raced on Saturday, and actually ended up runnering up at that race on her birthday. So that was one of the most fondest memories.
That must have been a great birthday for her.
Yeah, she got to. My dad is real good friends with Roy Hill, and he worked it out with Roy, and she got to go and have a ride along in one of his 3-seater dragsters. So that was fun for her too.
Yeah. So now, what can we look forward to from you next year?
Next year, I'd love to get the car running in the 50s, 450, mid 150, 160, somewhere in there. Do some more of the nostalgia pro stock racing. Probably stay more around the 470 racing for us, and it's going to be. I don't know if I'll get to race as much next year, just trying to help my dad and help Kayla. Get them both going again.
Now, have you ever raced against your dad?
No, but we've talked junk enough, and I think it's time to get it on the track.
Yeah. That'll be a fun one.
That will.
You'd be off the line. You guys would be loving. Then once you get on the start line, you'd be like mortal enemies.
If I remember right, my dad likes to play games at the starting line, so I'm a little more getting there and get it done, but he'll play a game with you.
Yeah. So Shane, you have any final words for all the fans listening out there?
Just keep coming to the track and loving what we do, and we'll put on the best show we can for you.
Sounds good, and we want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year out there.
That's right.
Thank you for your time, Shane.
Well, thank you for having me.
No problem. We'll do it again in the future.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a good night, Shane.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.